Okay, hold on. Y'all cannot see the screen that I'm sharing, is it? Ah, okay. I'm very sorry about that. Give me 1 minute, okay? Let me see if I can fix that. Don't know. That's very strange. Okay, can y'all see it now? Okay, I'm very sorry about that. Is it okay if I just review what I've just mentioned again from the beginning again very quickly, okay? So I talked about the Delta framework. Can y'all see here? Dialogue, emotions, location, thoughts, and actions. Can y'all see that? All good, huh? Okay. Okay, then I talked about how dialogue reveals something about your character's feelings and emotions. Okay, right? Then I talked about how when you build dialogue, your dialogue should reveal something about your character, right? Otherwise, it will not be very, very useful when you use your dialogue, okay? Okay, give me a minute now. Let me just fix something. Okay, so as I was saying, very, very important to put dialogue in that is going to help you to understand the character better. Don't use dialogue without a purpose in mind. Okay, so that's dialogue. Okay, then I talked about how emotions, D for dialogue, E for emotions. Emotions are very important. Your character's emotions must be very clear in the story. Okay, you must show your reader how the character is feeling. Now, why is this important? Anyone? Why is it important to share the feelings of the character? Okay, Andrea, go ahead.
How your character is like and how is he feeling.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you repeat that again?
So that the reader can picture how your character is like if she's like angry or sad or how she looks like.
Okay, so it helps my reader to picture or understand the character better. Good. That's a good reason. Janessa?
I think Andra already said what I wanted to tell
Okay,
you.
so you agree with Andrea and what she said? Okay, great. So the most important thing you must remember is that your readers don't have any idea what your character is like. You do, right? Because you created the character, what? You know what's going on in the character's mind. But can your readers know what's in the character's mind? Cannot. If you don't show the reader, then it doesn't exist. Okay? That means if it's in your head, right? It's not in the head of your reader. You must write. What exists on the paper is what is going to exist in your reader's mind. Okay, so it's very important that you show the feelings of your characters, right? And the better you show the feelings, the more effective your reader will be drawn into the story because they can feel what your character is feeling, right? But if you don't write it out, they won't know. They cannot read your mind. Got it, everybody? Readers are not able to read your mind. They can only read the paper. I say again, readers cannot read your mind. They can only read your paper. Got it? So if you don't write it in the paper, it does not exist for the reader. Okay, so you might say, oh, but my character is so interesting in my head. But on the paper, your character is boring because you did not write it out. Clear, everybody? Not your heads. If you understand what I'm saying, the reader cannot read your mind. The reader can only read your paper. Okay, so you must very, very clearly write everything in the paper. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so remember, you must show, not tell. Okay, what your character does, what your character thinks, what your character says is going to show what your character feels inside. Okay, so again, show, not tell. You must show through your character's actions, words, and even your character's thoughts, right? What your character is like. Okay, very important because your character is the most important thing in the whole story. Your main character is very important. Okay, then I already talked about location. Okay, now if you look at the picture here, right? You look at the location here. What kind of story do you think this is? Just from the location, can you tell what kind of story it's going to be? Yeah, Brennan, what story is it going to be?
Horror.
Horror, possible. Thaddeus?
A haunted house.
Okay, it's going to be about haunted house. Okay, something haunted, something scary, something horrifying. Good. Hugo? Is it the same?
I wanted to say scary also.
Okay. Now, maybe Hugo, I stop with you for a moment. Can you tell me what about this picture makes you think that it's going to be a scary story?
Because like it's dark and stuff.
It's
It's
dark,
really dark.
really dark. Okay, does it look a bit creepy to you?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a very cheerful picture, right? Because
No.
of dark, foggy, right? Then there's a lot of very, very scary looking trees without any leaves on it, right? Yeah. Gautam?
It could be like a mystery, this one, like a mystery story.
A mystery, okay, because it looks very mysterious. Yeah, I agree with you. Yes, there's elements of that. So you can see, right, that I'm sorry, Janessa, one last one there.
It looks like there are no like human presence in that house or
Okay,
nearby.
it doesn't look as deserted, right? It looks like it's like nobody around, right? Very scary because it's deserted. Yeah. So again, can you see that the picture kind of gives you an idea about what the story is going to be about? It's the same thing, right? When you put your setting or your location, right? It will give your readers a clue about what kind of story they are about to read. And that's always very exciting because it gives you kind of like a teaser, a taster, like a preview, you know. You all know when you all go to YouTube, you put your cursor over the video. Sometimes they will play a few parts of the video for you all to see. Have you ever seen that before? Yeah, that's called a preview, right? Then why does it do that? Because it wants you to like, oh, this is interesting. I want to watch the whole thing. Then you click on it, correct? It's the same, your introduction containing the setting is kind of like a teaser to show your reader that, oh, something interesting is about to happen. Eric Shah, please stop annotating the screen. Thank you very much. Okay. So the picture, right, shows that you are able to anticipate or predict what the story is going to happen. So the introduction is kind of like this picture. Okay, when you write your introduction and you put the correct setting, right, you are going to give a clue to your readers about what's going to happen next. Okay, Alexis, can you please focus on the lesson? Terence, sit up properly. Yu Kwan, come closer to the camera. Eric Shah also, please focus. Thank you. Okay, as I was saying, very important location. Even though Delta, right, everything else in Delta is about the character. Only the location is not. But even the location is linked to your character's mood. Okay, because it's going to set up what kind of story is going to take place in this particular location. Okay, and more about this later. Okay, so make sure that you create a vivid location. Okay, now I give you an example. If I'm writing about an unfortunate incident in school, if I'm writing about an unfortunate incident in school, which location in school would be best for my story to take place? I give you a few options. Classroom, canteen, field, science lab, library. Which one do you think would be the best for my story, an unfortunate incident in school, to take place? Okay, Andrea?
Because maybe somebody was running and then you were holding a bowl of hot noodle and then it scalded you when it
Okay,
fell over.
canteen, because the potential for something bad happening is higher there. Good. Does somebody have a different answer from Andrea? Okay, Jasper? Jasper?
The field,
Why?
because someone, you could have PE and someone could get hurt.
Okay, you could have PE, someone who get hurt, right? On the field, you tend to be running around a lot more, right? You're more active. So the potential for an accident might be higher. Does someone have something different from the two, Andrea and Jasper? Janessa, what do you say?
The science lab, maybe somebody accidentally spill one of the chemicals,
Okay,
and then
good.
the chemicals are like hot or something,
Okay,
and like scald something.
it could scald somebody. There could be some dangerous chemicals, right? You could have mixed something up and it could have led to some kind of fire or explosion. Good. That's also a possibility. So can you all see that there are different areas in the school that can be more dangerous? Do you agree with me? Would I choose the classroom as my setting or my location? No, right? Because it's not much that can happen in a classroom, especially with the teacher there, correct? So canteen, field, right, or science lab, these are more powerful locations depending on the kind of story I'm writing. If I'm writing an accident or a misfortune, then yes, definitely these would be better places to put it. If I were to write a story about a bullying incident, for example, would the location still be this tree or would it be different? It'll be different, right? So which one would you choose then? If let's say I'm writing about a bullying incident. Anyone? Janessa, did you raise your hands to answer that question? No, okay, then lower it, okay? Gautam?
The canteen.
Why?
Because someone could walk up to you and say, "Give me your lunch money" or something.
Okay, that would be a case where there could be some older students present, right? Whereas in your own classroom, you might not have any older students there to threaten you being a bully, right? That's true, that's possible. Andrea?
You, because maybe somebody, if they don't like you, they'll just like push you and then you will get hurt.
Maybe, you know, during PE lesson, the school bully or the class bully, right, pushes you around, trips you up, right, while you're running and you fall, and the injury could be more serious. Remember, the problem gets worse, right? So you want a location where the problem can get even worse. Go big or go home, right? Good. Brennan, last one.
The bathroom, because they can just ask you to go, then when no one is looking, they can just like trap you inside a cubicle and not let you out.
Okay, very good. The toilet, right? We didn't mention the toilet, but the toilet could be a scene of a bullying, right? Okay, they could be pushing you into a stall, they could be pouring water on you, right? That kind of stuff. So a lot of things can happen in the toilet as well. Very good. Yeah, that is a possible location. In fact, many bullying incidents happen in the toilet. Okay, so good observation, Brennan. So canteen, because of the potential of hot food, or you know, getting you to buy food for them. The field, because of potential of tripping you up while you're doing something physical, right? The toilet, because there's nobody else around, it's very private, and the bully can really do some damage to you, right? Or really bully you quite badly in the toilet. All very good settings. So can you all see the location matters, boys and girls? You cannot just say school, right? In school, you got to decide what is the specific location and how it fits with your character's predicament, okay? And you must know this in mind. That's why Mr. Pang always tells you, plan your story. Spend 1 minute, think about the story mountain, think about location, setting, think about the character that you want, then think about what's the problem and how it gets worse. That's it. Okay, if you do that, you will be very strong when you write your story. You will never go out of point. But remember, the theme of the story and the picture that they give you, you must use. Is that clear, everybody? Clear? If they talk about a story that's taking place in school, can you write about a story that's taking place at home? Cannot. If they tell you to write about a happy story, can you write a sad story? Cannot. If they ask you to write about a unlucky incident, can you write about a lucky incident? Cannot. Okay, everybody, you understand? The question is the king, not you. You cannot look at the question and say, nah, I don't want to follow. Nah, I want to do my own thing. If you do that, then you will not do well for that question. So the question is the king. You must read the question, understand the question, link it to the picture, then write your story. So this is your planning part, right? You think about your story mountain. Then when you get to your story mountain, remember these 3 fingers, you start to use delta, right? Delta in the 3 fingers. What is the dialogue that I want to use to review my character, right? What are emotions I want to show my character having? What are the locations that this story is going to take place? The next one is what are the thoughts that my character is going to have? Okay, Shu Po, please don't annotate. Thank you very much. If I have to call you out again, I'm going to start to scold you in the recording. Please stop annotating on the screen. Thank you very much. Okay, so thoughts, right? I already mentioned earlier. Sorry, Andrea, can you lower your hand, please? Thank you. Right, I already mentioned earlier, thoughts that are inside your character cannot be seen unless it's written on paper. So remember, I cannot read my mind, I can only read my paper. Okay, so whatever is in your character's mind must be written out clearly so that the reader can understand what your character is thinking. We'll go through an exercise later to do this. Okay, so that's thoughts. So L is location, T is thoughts. Okay, and you have inner thoughts and outer thoughts, but don't worry about it, we're just going to do one kind today. Okay, and finally, your actions. Okay? Have you heard Mr. Pang say actions speak louder than words? Yes, right? You've heard me say this, right? And this is true for writing as well. Huh? Whatever your characters think, whatever your characters feel, whatever your characters say is not as powerful as whatever your characters do. Do you understand? Actions will still speak louder than words. So what your character does is more important than what your character says, thinks, or feels. Even though those are important, the most important, I saved the best for last, is actions. In your climax, your golden triangle, actions must speak louder than words. Do you understand what Mr. Pang is saying? That means this part must be the most action-packed. A lot of things must happen here. The three finger. Show me your three finger. Okay, I promise, this is like Scout's promise. I promise to put verbs in my golden triangle. I promise to put verbs in my golden triangle. I promise to put verbs in my golden triangle. Okay, so see, this is your golden triangle, right? Your middle finger is the tallest, your two supporting fingers are shorter, so it forms a triangle. So this is your golden triangle, right? Inside your golden triangle is delta. Inside delta, the most important one is your A, your action. A also is a triangle, right? So remember your A inside your triangle, okay? Your A, delta, actions speak louder than words. So always use a lot of actions in your climax, okay? What do you do and how do you do it? The adverbs paired with your verbs. We'll talk about that using the example later, okay? So remember to craft meaningful actions. Make sure your actions show something about the character, right? Make sure that your actions drive the story forward so that you can see how the story is developing as your character does certain things, okay? Your character can do something to make the problem worse. Your character can do something to make the problem better, okay? So doing something to make it worse, doing something to make it better. Lots of actions in the golden triangle, okay? So this is a summary. Look at it. Then we're going to do a short practice, and then that's all for today, okay? Good job, everybody, focusing and staying on task. Okay, so climax, right? This is where all of what delta is gets shown very clearly, okay? There's location in the introduction as well, but there's also location in the climax. Why is it different? Because where you start the story may not be where the story gets worse. For example, I may start the story going to school, but then my story might end up being in the canteen, okay? Because that's where my story is going to get worse, okay? So the location will change between the introduction and the climax. Don't be afraid to change your location if the location suits your story better. Okay? Everybody clear? All right. So now look at this. You must memorize. I'm going to walk up to you in a corridor. If I ask you, what's this? You must tell me this is the golden triangle. What's inside it? You must tell me delta is inside. And what is it, delta? Oh, it's dialogue, it's emotions, it's location, it's thoughts, and it's actions. Got it, everybody? You can also use your 5 fingers to remind yourself. Dialogue, emotions, location, thoughts, and actions. Okay? So one finger is for Story Mountain, one hand is for Story Mountain, the other hand is for delta. Delta is inside the Story Mountain. Delta is in the golden triangle. Delta is in the golden triangle. Got it, everybody? Try to remember this. If you remember it, then you will apply it. Then you will start to use it in your writing. If you don't remember it, then you'll never apply it. Okay, so the first step is always to remember. Okay, always remember. What is the Story Mountain? Introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, and conclusion. What's inside the Story Mountain? Golden triangle. What's inside the golden triangle? Your delta. What's inside delta? Dialogue, emotions, location, thoughts, actions. Got it? Everybody, inside, inside, inside. Okay? Your hand has a lot of things inside it. Does your hand feel heavy now? Does your hand feel very heavy? Yeah, because there's a lot of things inside it now, right? Oh, lots of things inside your hand. Okay? Your hand now contains the Story Mountain. And your Story Mountain now contains the golden triangle. And your golden triangle now contains the delta. Got it, everybody? Can you remember? Can, okay, not too much. Your brain short-circuiting? Anybody? No? All good? So remember, when you write your story and you come to the climax and the problem starts to get worse, that's where you use your delta, and we will try to practice it now, okay? So now I give you a chance to vote. I have 5 teams. You see which one you prefer, then I'll use it in my example, okay? Team 1, an unexpected friendship. Okay, wait. Team 2, a challenging competition. Team 3, a memorable school excursion. Team 4, a surprising discovery. And team 5, an act of kindness. Again, 1, unexpected friendship. 2, challenging competition. 3, memorable school excursion. 4, surprising discovery. 5, act of kindness. I make it very big so you can see and choose between the 5. Okay, here, like that. Okay. Okay, you all can see on the left-hand side of your screen. Okay, so can you message your choice? Send a message in the group chat, in the Zoom chat. What is your choice? Okay, very good. I'm seeing some messages coming in already. Okay, let's see. Okay, 4. Okay. Okay, a lot of you choosing 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 4 is the winner, right? So far, okay, 4 seems to be the winner. Okay, oh, some more 4s. Okay, 18, 19. Okay, 4 is the winner because we only have 33 people and 19 people have voted for 4. So that means that 4 is the winner. Yay, 4. Okay, so what is 4? 4 is a surprising discovery. Okay, are you all okay with this? Are you all okay with this? A surprising discovery, Now, let me ask you a few questions, Surprise, a surprising discovery, surprise, right? Is surprise good or bad or both? Is it good or bad or both? How many of you think it's good? How many of you think it's bad? How many of you think it's both? Okay, I think the majority of you think it's both. Very good. Well done. Be very careful. A surprise can be good or bad. Right? It can be good or bad. It can be a happy surprise, and it can also be a terrifying or sad surprise. Okay, so surprises can go both ways. So don't be misled into thinking that a surprise must always be a good thing. So it can be bad, and in this case, right, it's up to you to decide whether you want it to be good or bad. Now, let's choose the picture now. So now you vote to choose the picture. Picture 1, 2, or 3. Which one has the biggest problem? Remember, we always choose the picture with the biggest potential for a problem. So which picture do you think has the biggest problem? Please vote in the chat. 1, 2, or 3. Alexis, please focus on the lesson. Okay. Okay, it looks like 1 and 3 seem to be the most popular choices. Okay, 1 is in the lead right now. Okay, there's more 1s. Ian, please just message once will do. Stop spamming the chat. Thank you very much. Please be responsible when you use public forums like chats, groups, right? You are not just using it for yourself, but also for others. Please be considerate and aware of yourself. Spamming it by sending multiple messages is not acceptable behavior. Do I make myself clear? Right? Anything that's shared as a space must be used respectfully, right? If you're using it yourself, just by yourself, that's a different question, but you're using it together with everybody else. Please be considerate and not send multiple messages that will clog up the entire chat field. Do I make myself clear, Ian? And this will be in the recording. Right? Everybody else, please be responsible users of the chat and send only 1 message, okay? Okay, so let me just tabulate the score. Okay, let's see how many people choose 3 and versus how many people choose 1, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 for 3 so far. Okay, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, narrowly, I would say 3 wins out. Okay, so can anyone tell me what's happening in picture 3? Anyone? You all chose it, right? You must know what's happening in it, right? So many of you chose it, right? You must know what's happening in 3, right? Yeah, what's happening in 3? Dylan, what's happening in 3?
Some kids find like a historical artifact.
Okay. They dig up a historical artifact. Okay. Do you all have a lot of experience with historical artifacts, boys and girls? Are you all archaeologists? Do you have any experience with digging up like things from the ground? No, right? Then I would actually advise you not to choose picture 3. You know why, right? Because if you don't know what is the right vocabulary, you wouldn't be able to write it very well. So always choose the picture with the biggest problem, but also familiar to you. So between 1 and 3, I think 1 is easier. Do you agree with me? It's easier to write about 1, right? Okay, because there's more possibilities that I can explore using 1, and it's more close to my experience. I'm sure you all have received parcels or presents before, right? All of you, have you all? Right, I'm sure you've either received a box, or you received some kind of package from Amazon, or you ordered something from overseas, it got delivered to your door, right? Or you found a box in your storeroom, right? You don't know what's inside, or maybe someone gave you a present and it was in a box, you don't know what's inside, right? More familiar. Okay, so let's pretend that we've chosen this, a surprising discovery, and we are looking at the old box, okay? Or this box that I discovered. Okay, so location, right? So I give you 2 alternatives, okay? One, I'm in this dusty old attic, right? Or storeroom in my house. It's dark, it's dingy, and then I find this old box that has stains on it. Right, that's one scenario. The other scenario is, right, I am looking through my storeroom. I find a mysterious looking box. I take the box out, I put it in my living room. The living room is sunny. My parents are around me, and everybody gathers around to find out what's in the box. Which story is going to be positive and which one is going to be negative? Anyone? Andrea?
First one, when you're by yourself, is going to be might be negative, but then the second one, it might be positive.
Why? Why do you say that, Andrea?
Because if you're by yourself, you may not know what to do, and you might accidentally like break the box, the
Okay.
thing that's inside the box.
Okay, so there's more potential for negativity because I'm alone. Also, can you see that I'm in a dark and kind of like creepy place, like a dark storeroom, right? Very dingy, right? So the setting, the location does play a part in setting the tone for a more negative story. Whereas if I'm in a bright living room surrounded by my family members and everyone is very curious about what's in the box, can you see it's a more positive story, right? So it depends. If you want to write a more positive story, then you want to choose your location to be in a living room, surrounded by your family members, very bright and cheerful. If you want it to be a more scary and negative surprise, right, then you might want to write that it's more, you're in a dark, lonely place, there's nobody around you, you're all alone, and it's, it's very scary, it's very creepy, and then something in the box is going to be quite scary or quite bad or quite negative. Okay, it depends on what you decide is in the box. Now, before you open the box, what kind of emotions might go through your mind? What kind of emotions? So I'm looking at E. I'm looking at E in Delta first. What kind of emotions might go through your mind before you open the box? Janessa?
Excited and scared.
Okay, I might be mixed feelings, right? On the one hand, I might be excited. On the other hand, I might be a little bit nervous or scared. Okay, Jasper, do you want to add to that?
I might be curious.
Curious. All right, so curiosity is a feeling too. Curiosity, good. I'm curious. Brennan?
Curious and nervous.
Okay, curious and nervous at the same time. Now, what might I say? Now I go back to D, dialogue. What can I say to my parents or to the people around me to show that I'm feeling all these things? What might I say? Dialogue, dialogue, D, dialogue. What might I say to show these feelings without telling the reader? How do I show through my dialogue? Gautam? Unmute yourself.
You could say like Should I really do this? I feel quite nervous.
Okay, should I open the box? I don't know what's inside. That shows you your nervousness. What else might I say to show different emotions? Andrea?
Do you think is inside?
Sorry?
What do you think is inside?
Okay, so what's inside? Okay, but how might I say it in a way that I show the reader that I am feeling excited or nervous or curious? Brennan? What might I say?
Do you want to go first, or is it just me?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
I would say, do you want to go first because I will feel scared.
Okay, no, I'm talking about, I'm gonna say something about the box, not about asking people who wants to take their turn first. I want to say something about the box that shows my feelings about it. Janessa?
Does anybody remember what they put inside?
Okay, so maybe curiosity. Does anyone remember what's in this box? Possible. Or, I wonder what's in the box, right? That might show curiosity, right? Or I can't wait to open the box, right? Right? That might show a sense of excitement. Okay, so dialogue can show your emotions. Now, what kind of thoughts might run through my mind? I don't want to think the same thing as what I say. I just said, I wonder what's inside. I wonder who put, I wonder if anybody remembers what's inside. I wonder what's going to happen when I open the box. I wonder if I should open the box or not. So I said all these things, but what can I think in my head? Andrea?
What if something's bad inside the box?
Yeah, okay, maybe I might think, what if there's what if there's an animal in the box? Or what if, there's something like an insect or a scary monster, or, what if there's a bomb in the box? I could have all these thoughts running through my head, right? So that's my internal thought. Do you get it? What if? Got it, everybody? What if? So I can have thoughts. So my dialogue, I wonder what's in the box. I can't wait to open it. That shows excitement and curiosity, right? That's my dialogue. Emotions, right? My heart pounded in my chest, right? My hands were trembling, okay? Showing my emotions, right? And then my thoughts, right? I wonder what's in the box. What if it's full of cockroaches? Or what if it's full of, smelly socks? What if, right? So my thoughts. What if it's full of smelly socks? My thoughts, okay? And then, of course, my actions. What am I going to do after I think and say these things? Am I just going to stand there? Am I just going to look at the box? No, right? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Lorraine, what am I going to do? Lorraine, what am I going to do?
I think you are going to Can you repeat the question again?
After thinking and saying and feeling that way, what am I going to do?
Maybe or maybe not, you will open it.
Most likely I will open it, right? I cannot just stand there, right? Because if I don't open it, how is the story going to progress? Am I right? If I don't open the box, the story can't continue. So when I open it, how I open it will depend on how I feel, right? Correct? If I'm very excited and I'm very, 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 very curious, I will open it in a certain way. If I'm very scared, I'm very nervous, I don't know what to expect, I'm going to open it in a different way. How is it going to be different based on my feelings? Anyone? Thaddeus?
You will open it slowly.
If you're feeling?
Huh?
If you're feeling what?
Scared and nervous.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So if I'm feeling scared and nervous, I might open it carefully, cautiously, slowly, with trepidation, right? Like, like a cat on a hot tin roof, I might be very, very careful, okay? I might be, do it with a lot of caution. Cautiously, I open the box. If I'm feeling nervous and uncertain. What happens if I'm feeling very excited? I'm very, very, I can't wait to see what's inside. How would I open it? How would I open it if I'm feeling very excited and I'm not at all nervous and I really want to just find out what's in the box? How would I open it? Cheyenne?
You would open it like very fast and tear it apart.
Right? I will kind of like flip it open immediately, right? Immediately, right? Quickly, right? excitedly, right? Without a moment's pause, right? I would do it without even thinking. Do you all get it, everybody? Your actions show the emotions that you are feeling, right? So if you're excited, you'll probably be, I wonder what's in it. I can't wait to open it. That's your internal thought, right? Okay, then maybe you tell your mother, Mommy, I'm going to open this box now. I can't wait to see what's inside. That's your dialogue, right? Then you run over to the box and then you flipped it open with all your might, or immediately peering in to see what was inside. Okay, so your actions, all dialogue, emotions, thoughts, and actions. Okay, of course, your location will determine what kind of outcome or what is in the box. Do you all get what Mr. Pang is saying? Okay, so when you come to the climax, right, if you remember your delta, your DE, your T and A especially, your L is already where you are, right? But your delta, you will be able to write more things. You will develop the story more when you go through delta, rather than if you write and then you miss out one part of the delta. You don't even know that you didn't write a thought, or you didn't write an emotion, or you didn't write about the dialogue. Okay, everybody, do you understand what delta is now? Can you be very conscious whenever you write the golden triangle inside your story mountain, you must fit in your delta. Is that clear? Okay, Janessa and Andrea, can you lower your hands if you have no questions? Otherwise, I think you have a question. Okay, Janessa, you have a question?
Is it compulsory at the golden triangle you must write the delta? Is it like compulsory?
Yes, I would say it is, because I want all of you to be used to applying it. Okay, so I want you to consciously think about one piece of dialogue, at least one, that your character can say that will reveal how they feel. I want you to think about what emotions you want to show. Like, for example, they are very, very scared. Maybe they're shivering, or they're very, very happy. Maybe they're quivering with joy, or they're jumping up and down. So that's your emotions. Then I want you to be very, very clear about your thoughts. So what is your character thinking? Should I open this? What's inside it? Maybe there are, like scary cockroaches inside. It's such an old-looking box. That thoughts. Then I want you to think about your actions. How is your character going to act after he feels or she feels that way and thinks that way? What's the action that will come out of it? Open very quickly, or open cautiously and carefully, so that you're not sure what's inside. You show that uncertainty. Everybody clear? So yes, I would like everyone to try to apply delta, right? I want you to apply it in your writing of the climax. Okay, in the golden triangle especially, problem presents itself, problem gets worse, problem becomes better. That section is in particular, I want you to consciously hint the location, show me the dialogue, let me see what are the emotions, let me hear what are the thoughts, and let me see what are the actions. Got it, everybody? Everybody clear? Easy, right? Just 1 or 2 sentences for each of the letters, D, E, L, T, A, and you already have 8 or 9 sentences for climax and falling action already. Okay, this is to help you increase the amount that you can write within that particular section, which is the most important part of your composition, where most of the marks will be. Okay, so this is a strategy to help you develop a better climax when you are writing any story. This will apply to any story. Okay, any questions? Because it's coming on 12 p.m. and I said I will end before that. Okay, no, then your homework for today, and it's not due today, is an SLS assignment, right? You will write based on one of these 5 themes. I let you choose which theme you want, okay? You can choose theme 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, right? You choose one of these themes. It's already in the SLS assignment. Then you write a story. Mr. Pang is not using AI for feedback anymore because you all don't like it, right? I will just give you my feedback directly, okay? So can you try to complete this by latest Wednesday? Today is Monday, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Can you give this to me by latest Wednesday? Do you think y'all can do it? Write me a story by Wednesday, okay, and then submit it by Wednesday so I can give you your feedback, right? I know that your WA is already over, okay, by Wednesday, but it's okay, right? Remember, we're not just writing for WA, we're writing to become better writers, okay? We're writing so that we can improve our storytelling skills. So if you can finish it by today, you submit to me, I will give you feedback. If not, you just revise based on the notes I've already given you in SLS for all the previous compositions you've written. Okay? Is there any questions about what I'm asking you to do? Okay, please mute yourself. Okay, please mute yourself. Any questions based on what I've just mentioned to all of you? No? Are you all good? Remember, tomorrow's WA is only on composition writing. There is no other component being tested. Some of your parents have asked me, but it's in the letter that was sent to all of you, right? And I'm sure that I've already told you all this before. There is no other component being tested tomorrow except your personal recount and narrative writing, which we've already done plenty of practice for, right? You're all very familiar with the Story Mountain. And today we are just using Delta to add to our climax writing. That's it. Okay, everybody, all clear? Right, so if you can write the story, please write it for me and then I'll give you feedback by tonight. If not, then it's okay. Hand the story up to me by Wednesday, and then I'll give you feedback then. Okay, all good? Any questions? None? Okay, so I will send the video and the slides I've just done for you, same as always in the parents chat. Thank you all for your attention, and I know we were slightly over time. I apologize for that. So you can go if you have no further questions or concerns. Bye. Have a good holiday. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
Bye.
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 Tomorrow.
Bye.
Good job, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.
Bye. Mr. Pang,
Yep, there.
the delta, is it only for the climax or we also can apply for other paragraphs?
You can apply for other paragraphs as well. Actually, yes. But
But mainly only for the climax, right?
it's most important at the climax, I would say. But yes, you can actually put in dialogue, you can put in emotions everywhere in the composition. But most importantly, in the climax, you must have that. Okay? Yeah, good question. Thank you.